Hello, truth is truth, and that's all there is. There is truth. And how are you going to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel? How is this going to go viral? How can I tell the most people in the world about this idea of truth that I have? That's what everybody thinks whenever they go to make a video. I just don't like the manipulation of it. Whenever you see their eyes looking at you, they're looking in the screen and they're saying this and they're jumping from this to that to keep you hanging on, and they're acting like they're not manipulating. I hate the acting. Like, truth is so beyond. God, see? It's hard. So I can tell you the truth and I will, but it won't tickle your fancy. The truth is that any single person who ever looks around and tells the truth about everything around them would have this understanding. What we have in the world today are a bunch of people that lie in their own lives, right? A girlfriend says, were you looking at that girl? You say, no, I wasn't. God is the closest thing to you. God was there first. Whenever she said, were you looking at that girl? Your first thought was, yes, I was. But then you twisted it and turned it into something that isn't true. See, lies aren't real. They're not reality. I don't like the fact that I have to brush my hair and keep my too wide of a face, my close eyes out of the picture, so that somebody might actually watch my video. I hate that. But lies are not reality. Lies are a fairy tale. If you die in a fairy tale, if you die in something that doesn't exist, then you won't exist anymore. Truth actually exists. You look around, what is. This is a corner, this is math, this is the way the world works, right? If I try to change that, then I'm lying. And then the world doesn't work. I'm looking at the corner of a house here, or a trailer. If I try to change that, then it doesn't work. Now, if you're a liar, bear with me, sorry. If you're a liar whenever you are awake, then you will be a liar whenever you're asleep. But we have everybody poring over all this information. Should it have been translated this way, that way? Is Jesus this? Was he Lucifer? Was there 2 morning stars? Is it this? Is Yahweh the evil one? Everybody's trying to figure out and come up with... No. We all know what is true inside of ourselves. And that is that no amount of study or research is going to help you with what is true. You would be better off. The more you know, you learn and you learn and you learn and you learn and you learn. Whenever you get to the end of learning, which nobody ever does, but if we were to get to the end of learning, we would have realized that we were better off knowing nothing, right? That is the only place where learning goes. It goes... That's all that happens. Once you get to the end of it, if you tell lies in your own life, then you can't understand the bigger picture. See, we're down here. We know that we're not the universe. We know that we're a speck on a speck floating through specks. We know that we are not the center of that universe. We know that there's something greater than us, and we know that we were created. Even our own bodies go back to the dust. Therefore, we know that we are created. And we just go back like a recycle, straight back to where we were here, this thing. But there is a difference in people's spirits. So no matter what we learn, okay, imagine you live 20,000 years. You're still going to be learning. Therefore, if you only live in science and logic of our day and age, you can only live 120, 125 years or something. Where does knowledge get us? It gets us nowhere. Because if you lived for 10,000 years, are you telling me that you would understand all the secrets if you lived 10,000 years? What if 20,000 years? What if 50,000 years? You're telling me you would stop learning at some point. You would stop learning. You would stop getting knowledge at some point. We are dust, ridiculous humans who derive pleasure from the places that we get rid of waste, right? We expel waste, and those are the most pleasurable places for us. That should tell us something. What is ingrained into us should explain everything, right? People are trying to understand the spirit. Whenever you're talking to somebody, you don't know what my intentions are. Right now, you're watching this video, but you're wondering, what's his intentions? You're watching this, and you can understand this, because you can see it, right? You can add it up. It is something. It's science. It's chemicals, right? It's the periodic table. It's everything that you can look up in a book because you're reading it with your flesh. But what you're actually looking at while I'm doing this is you're wondering, what is this guy's intentions? I can't see it. It's covered. You can't learn anything about the spirit by the flesh. You can't learn anything. You cannot, the natural and the supernatural, the definitions will not allow you to intertwine them. They won't allow you. They won't allow it to come together. You have to understand that this is a fact, will die. And now it's a fact that all people that have this will die and rot in the exact same manner, whether masters or servants, whether kings or subjects, whether wise or unwise. This goes away. So if there is any hope for eternal life, and isn't that what everybody wants? If there's any hope for eternal life, it has to be in what it isn't seen. So stop focusing on this. Don't check your butt out in the mirror whenever you put your pants on. Oh, yeah. Don't walk, through the store like this. No. Everything that truth is simple and known to all people. You cannot study the flesh to understand the truth of something that isn't seen. And these words that I'm speaking, right? Vocal cords, sound vibration, right? Brain firing, cerebral, everything. This is one thing. But the words that I'm speaking and the intention that I have is unknown. They're coming from an intention that you cannot know. But you already know this. You've seen yourself grow older. You've seen yourself get wrinklier. Yet you still have pride in the flesh. Obviously, somebody younger than you is more attractive than you. How can you live your whole life and not figure this out and still be kicking against the grain, fighting against the pride? Why don't you understand how life just is? If you're so amazing that you made it to 60 years old, then you're much more proud, or you're prouder, much more, not right, for you intellectual, never mind. Then you're prouder than the people that were born sick. If your knowledge, where you went, my fingers, my brain, my eyes, look at me, right? If that has puffed you up, then you have damned, pure, innocent children. You've become something. What are you doing? You're walking along, you're fulfilling your life. You're Googling, you're studying, and oh my God, are you amazing now? I just want to kiss you. Look what you found. And then you and die. Everybody has all knowledge that is important to salvation, which would be eternal. What we want salvation from is death. Nobody wants to die, obviously. That's why hospitals, that's why everybody's so scared. It seems like no matter how you put it, it's still out of reach for people. And this brings me back around. I know you never thought I was going to come back around, but I did. This brings me back around. That honesty in every aspect of life is the only way to do something. 2 + 2 is 4, right? Blah, 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 look what he said. The only way to get the right answer to that question is to tell the truth. If you were to lie about it, you wouldn't have the right answer to the question. Therefore, liars think that they're very smart because they can manipulate you. So they think they're very smart because they got one over on you. They didn't understand that you were pure. That's why they got it over on you, right? This is where narcissism and everything comes in. They feel like smartness is manipulation. And since you didn't, they knew what they were doing and you didn't. They got it over. She doesn't even know I cheated. They think that's smart. That's not smart. What's that leave you with at the end of the day? I've broken up this, I've broken up that. You ruined everything and you blamed it on another person. Honesty is always right. Were you looking at that girl? Yes, I was. Is your flesh going to die? Yes, it is. How long do you have to eke out life? Do you need to raise children? Right? Is that why you're here? You're here to raise children because your children are so important. As if everybody isn't somebody's child. You focus on your own children. You forget that everybody is somebody's child, including yourself. How? It's dishonesty. Whenever you try to gain in this life, and this is really the right down to where the rubber meets the road, the nitty-gritty, this is what it actually is. Whenever you focus on this, right, this flesh, look at those muscles, man. I can beat you up. I can beat you in an arm wrestle. I'm so strong, right? Whenever you focus on that, it diminishes. You won't let it go. You're still lying, and it dies. Whenever you focus on this life that you know ends in death, you lie about everything. And this has always been the case of the world through every religion, through everything. Whenever you focus on the inside, and you don't care about this, and you give it up, there's no chance that this thing lives eternal. We've all seen it rot with our own flesh. The only hope you have is in the Spirit. You must be an honest person, or you'll never know. You're trying to figure out the mysteries of God, but you lied and said you didn't make towel babies or hide a sock under your bed. You cannot know the mysteries of God whenever you take the basest thing of how you were born, how we all exist, and you twist it and lie about how we all exist, like as if nudity was something, or lust was something, or nobody does this. You're hiding from people that do the exact same thing, right? You're lying to them, they're lying to you, and there was never a point, except for this pride that you have here, this judgment. Who are you? Are you going to be the best anthropologist? Nah. You're going to be the best archaeologist? Nah. The best psychologist? Nah. You going to be the best at football? Nope. Soccer? Nope. What? Why are you trying to attain to a goal that cannot be attained to so that your name can live on still only for a couple generations? No matter what you do. Maybe you live on for 1,000 generations. Wow! You can do that if you're the most evil person in the world. Give up. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean give up. You're not better than them. They're not better than you. Let them have it. Give to them. Let them take it. Let them be rich and you be poor. Let them be right and you be wrong. Let them be justified and you be put down. Not because you're trying, because you happen to understand truth and it means something to you. Truth is, I could go on this for days. I could just keep going for days. And maybe this meant nothing to any of you. It meant something to some people. But the only people that can understand me are the people that already know it. You can't go from not being something to understanding it. You can't. A male can never understand a female. You can't. A female can never understand a male. And yet we get knocked down, drag out fights between them. Why can't they both just say, I can't understand you, but I can take the lesser road and let you win? If two people do that, everybody wins. If nobody does that, nobody wins. If one person does it out of two, one person wins. But the person who lost thinks that they won. You can't know something by reading it spiritually unless you already knew it beforehand. You can only understand what is given to you. Stop asking questions. As long as you're asking questions, you're putting somebody else above you. If you're putting somebody else above you, then you can never attain to what they are. This will eventually turn into jealousy and hate. And it will eventually turn into you lying to try to be above them. Start answering questions and stop asking questions. You have the answer. Put yourself beneath. You can never be up. If we all answer the question honestly, we're all the same. And people do it for various reasons. They want to put you above them so that they're not judged. You're still judged. Why weren't you them? You should have been them. They're trying to be safe. Well, as long as all the intention is on that person, I'll be okay. No. Stop trying to do either one. Your knowledge is spit. Your flesh will not look like this. It won't. You'll lose. The people in your family are going to be more attractive than you were. And you're going to try to talk about the good old days? Why not get them out of the pride? Let them tell the truth. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. If you don't, you don't. I'm going to end this.